Good morning, everybody. I woke up this morning. I thought about sharing my pantry with you today as to what I have canned this year and what I still have left from last year. So on the very top here, actually, I have last year's leftovers, some of it. Not much left, so I have some tomato sauce. I have 6 quarts of that, and I have some kimchi that I really enjoy, and I'm gonna be sad when it's all out because I didn't make any this year, but I may end up buying some Napa cabbage and making it from there. This was grown in my garden. And I still have some baked beans. So these are the ones that I'm gonna use up first. That's why they're on the top. Now you saw me canning the base for my grandma's bean soup. These two are just overflows that are being stored here. Going across here, these are my coleslaws, the overflows of my coleslaws, because I do have some more further down, but these are the ones I'm going to use first. Overflow of my green beans. And by the way, they're still pretty green, right? Remember I used the zinc tablet in here to keep them green. The only thing I would have done differently is dissolve that tablet before I start canning it. I think it just didn't distribute very evenly, but it's still, I think, looking pretty good. And then I have some of tomato sauces here, and some of them are made out of tomatoes from the farmhouse garden. So I kind of mark those because I don't have basil in them. Coming this way, I have a couple of half pints of carrots. You saw me doing that as well from my garden. Not much, but there are some pint size as well. They're looking pretty good. I also have still some hot jam. I really liked these, made out of my hot pepper harvest. Nice, garlicky and sweet. I use this on sandwiches. I put them into stews and casseroles, and you saw me using this on the Thanksgiving dinner. It was really yummy. So we looked at the carrots and some more tomato sauce. I put some in pints because I use these to put into like chicken tortilla soup, or if you want to make Spanish rice or something like that, this is a good size for that purpose. The bigger jars I usually use for tomato soup. That's a good size for that. So going down this way, remember when I made the Hungarian lecho, which is just onions, tomatoes and peppers stewed? And I'm gonna show you one of these days how I use this for a meal. There's some spaghetti sauce, or I call them pizza sauce because that's where it's gonna be used most. These are also some from last year, but then there are some from this year, which is raspberry jam, and this is from the farmhouse plants and my homegrown raspberries as well. So I combine that because it's not much, but it's perfect for us. As you can see, we can keep up. Still some left from last year. Here are my green beans again. Looking really nice, but I still am using beans from the freezer. You saw me cooking for Thanksgiving from the freezer. Here are my newest canning of chicken. This is the chicken meat with some broth, but I also can broth by itself. Here, if we go down on this shelf, you'll see that I have my chicken broths and my grandmother's bean recipe that I'm gonna enjoy a lot in coming weeks. Here we have more tomato sauce, lots of tomato soup to be made, which I also enjoy a lot. Coming up to this shelf, I have some hot peppers. These were grown mostly at the farmhouse. And I made leek and potato soup that I canned. And it's kind of chunky, but you can see that it's looking very yummy. So I'm gonna dig into that shortly as it's getting cold outside. Here are my plain beans. So this only has salt in it. And that will be used for other type of bean dishes that I'm gonna show you later on. And here are my dozen of coleslaws, which you saw me eating already with hot dogs. They are so delicious. And again, it's very convenient. So let's talk about why do I can. People have different reasons why they can. One is because I grow my produce in my little garden, and I just truly enjoy preserving them. And I do it multiple ways, which is freezing. I do some dehydrating as well. You saw me using celeriac and parsley and some other things from my pantry. So those are convenient, but as far as canning goes, it just preserves well with the tomatoes. I had so much tomatoes that you can see that that's really went into a lot of these cannings. And we talked about the raspberries and my green beans. These are all grown. The carrots, all homegrown. For that reason alone, just preserving my own food, it gives me a lot of satisfaction, but definitely provides food as well. The second reason why I can is for convenience. So for example, my coleslaw, that's convenient because I can just puff one up and eat it right away out of the jar. Same with the green beans. I can add that to any dish, carrots and so on. Of course, with the beans, that the latest one is definitely for convenience because it's already cooked, so ready to go and eat. And the third reason, sometimes I do get frugal, and if I see a deal, like I bought the chicken pretty cheap, as cheap as you can get it, and then that allows us to buy a bunch of food that could be preserved for long term. I don't consider myself a hoarder or a prepper or anything like that. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time when I'll be cooking out of my pantry.